Okay, distance. Oh, it's very small. Let's say we wanted to find, oops, I'm not sharing screen onto there. Sorry, let me share to this recording as well. Okay, so let's say we want to find the distance between these 2 points, 1, 3, and 5, 9. Okay. Right, so instead of just calculating, let's go through it together how to do this. What's the key idea to start off with? Find the distance. Yep, anyone? Don't say the answer, even if you get it. I want the process. Yes,
Do you do 5 minus 1 squared?
Yes, let's do 5 minus 1 first, but yes, that does come into play. 5 minus 1 squared. Yes, and then what do you do?
Plus 9 minus 3.
9 minus 3, yep, that's these y coordinates difference. Good. And then what do you do?
You just do 4 to the power 2 plus 6 to the power 2.
2.
Oh, wait, oopsie. Oh, yeah, plus.
Is this the answer?
No, you need to do square root.
Square root. So this, if you do the distance formula, you just do it like this. But why do we do the distance formula with the square roots and everything? What's the logic behind this formula, or what's the logic behind this process? What's the key thing you're applying in this?
A squared plus b squared equals.
Yeah, Pythag. Pythag, using Pythag to find this, because look, 5 minus 1 is this horizontal distance. 9 minus 3 is vertical distance. And then when you use Pythag, c squared is 4 squared plus 6 squared. You're just doing this, and then to get c, you go square root both sides. That's why the square root comes in. And it's just Pythag.
So wouldn't that just be 4 to the square root of 13?
2. Because 2 comes out. Root 4 is 2. It's root 4 times 13. But root 4 is 2.
Okay, and then it's 13.
In the square. Yeah. Makes sense why it's 2 and not 4. Because you took it out of the set and root 4 is 2. Okay, yeah. Yeah, so there's 2 ways to do it. And I want you to understand both. I'll say right now, the more important one's the visual one. You might forget the formula, but if you understand it visually, you can always get back to the formula. Right? So understand the logic behind it's Python. And that is the distance formula. I'll give you another question. Come back to this worksheet maybe. Let's do let's not do that one. This one, and if you finish that, go to this one. Since it's a bit hot today, if you didn't bring your water bottle, I can just bring a glass of water from the kitchen, okay? Let me know if you need water. Do question 3 first. The level 3 challenge is quite hard. Level 3 challenge is not just asking for the distance between A and B. It's level 3 challenge.
Oh, you need to calculate both, don't you?
Which one?
For question 3, you need to calculate both the triangles.
No, so it's not asking for the distance from the origin of both points. It's the distance between the two.
So what is the shortest distance the helicopter can travel to get to the enemy patrol? So that's where the helicopter is. So that's the distance you need to find.
Where's the enemy patrol?
The enemy patrol. The enemy patrol up there, right? Because it's 15 kilometers this way and 17 kilometers. So it's the short distance.
Oh yes.
So you need to
Oh,
calculate
sorry. I
both.
thought this was 15.
No.
I get what you.
Sorry,
No.
that's just the same.
Yeah, I get it. Yeah, that's correct. Yeah, for sure. Think of this as like they're like the coordinates almost.
Yeah. Oh, you need to add.
Who's struggling on question 3? If not, I can go for an easier question to warm up with even. You can just find the distance between. You can just do question 1 if you just find the distance between these two coordinates. Question 1 if you're struggling with 3.
What was 16 times 16 again?
I think you remembered last time. Oh no, you
Was
you knew
it
17.
256, right?
Yes.
256. Sorry. 215? Straight.
Do you want me to tell you a secret to find consecutive square numbers?
Consecutive. Yeah.
So let's say you know 10 squared.
Yeah.
The way to find 11 squared, you add 10 and then 11 to 10 squared.
I'm sorry. So you had 21.
Yeah.
Oh, so you just add the
current number and the next number. So 16 squared to 17 squared.
Okay, so we're 60 plus 17. 30. 33. So
And
so
256.
it was 256. Right. Thank you.
There's an algebraic reason why that worked.
Oh, okay, don't explain it after.
I'll explain after.
Okay, so 289.
If you're struggling, do question 1, which is just finding the distance between the two given coordinates. But 3 and the challenge is the ones where you can. Which question will you do? Challenge. I do recommend giving the ones before that a go.
Yeah.
Which go?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, you're on the right track. You're on the right track. Where did this 5 come from? Oh, I see. Okay. You put a 1, but then you drew a bracket over it, so you missed it. But yeah, you're correct otherwise.
Is it a perfect square?
3?
Yeah.
No, don't think so.
Okay, good.
It's not? Okay.
Yeah, I was just like. But do I have to simplify it
Yes.
into radical?
Don't have to, but
Can I use my calculator?
you can do it without it. Wait.
Am I wrong? Yes.
You want to find the distance between this and this?
Yeah, I showed. Right, but then if that's 357. Oh, you need to square root the previous number before that to find the whole thing. Right? Because,
You don't need to find the whole thing.
yeah, I know, but just to find this one, right? Don't you need to like, because it's two, it's that one, right?
So
To
you,
get to
then you
this-
want, your idea is find the long line, then
Yeah.
subtract this one.
Yeah,
Not necessarily, because you're assuming it's a straight line. How do you know it's a straight line?
because of 3 pi.
Between 3 points, between 2 points, you can assume always. But that's going to be the next topic, actually. How points are collinear, whether they are collinear or not. And generally speaking, you can't assume they're collinear.
Okay.
Do you get what I mean? Like this point could be, if you think this straight line connects here to here, this second one could be here, here. There's no line that connects all 3 points.
Okay.
But there's an easy way. You don't need to find the long one and subtract the short one.
You just need to find this one.
You just find this one. That's what you're trying to find.
Yeah, so don't you just.
You just find that direct.
Oh, don't, so you just do this one, right? Just like that. So that's 6. This one has to be. Oh, okay, that's just
Looks
stupid.
good so far. Okay, do you have the numbers? Those are the two coordinates. And make sure you're doing the relevant, subtracting 2 x's and subtracting 2 y's. I know I started with a pretty hard question. Even level 3 is pretty hard, but I've seen a lot of you guys do it pretty well. It's good. Yep. Oh. The challenge is algebraic. You need algebra.
Is this correct?
Do the thing. Check this with me. Logically, you're doing everything correct. I think just calculations.
Is this the correct?
This is correct. Simplified.
Oh, 20s.
And you can't root out of 3 like that. Because it's not. That is going.
So wait. So is it just the first one? Just
No, it can be simplified.
yeah.
Who's done 3 so far?
Wait, so the once you've simplified the first time, you just continue simplifying the biggest number, right?
The square squares. Or to factorize.
Yeah, to
Factorize, you can, yeah, keep breaking it down. And then once you factorize fully, if you see any squares, you can get rid of them.
Alright.
Did you get it? Oh, yeah. So you go. It's like the chord. What's the coordinate of the other? You're trying to find the distance between the two coordinates. Basically. Something with vertical. What's 16? 6 kilometers.
I'm like, sure.
What's 27?
Sorry. Did I do 21 or 27? Yeah.
Why are you subtracting 36?
Pardon?
What'd you get? This is correct.
Yeah.
Take out 3. Why is it 27 here?
37.
No, not 37. 37 times 3 is close, but it's 111.
I should just.
Can try to simplify it. But they the level 3 challenge, draw a picture. Yeah, 3. Let's try to simplify it. Also put the kilometer outside the square root. Was it like square root kilometers?
Okay. This time I feel like I've got it.
What's the 3 inside? You could
Yeah, I know, but like, is it like this?
But you should write 9 times 13. Because 39 3 times 13.
I just wanted to go like simple.
That's not correct.
Wait.
You step here.
Oh.
Because there's 3 here, they just sort of.
Oh,
they
so
disappear.
wait.
You can do 3 times 13, or you can just combine the 3's together. To get
9 times 13, and then you just simplify that to get to
Yeah. Let's write that down.
Okay.
Well done.
I thought you just like continue to just simplify the bigger number until you don't have anything left.
Yes, but you can't make the other numbers just disappear, right? Because
You
they're
just
still
have
there.
to keep timing that number to get that, and then you simplify that down.
Okay, let's go through 3. I think everyone's done it from what I've seen. So you've got an enemy patrol located 15 kilometers east and 17 kilometers north of their position. Let's say that the current position is the origin of the of the command center. When the enemy patrols 15 right, 17 up. So like a point with coordinates 15, 17. And then you've got the helicopter located 6 kilometers east and 11 kilometers north. That's like 6 right, 11 up. So that's like the coordinate 6, 11. And then you want to find the distance between these two. It's not to scale, but it doesn't matter, right? I'm sure you can ignore the scale part for now because you want to find the distance between these two. Then you use the Pythag way. So it's the horizontal distance is 15 minus 6, which is 9 kilometers. And the vertical distance is 17 minus 11, which is 6 kilometers. And now you just need to find the hypotenuse. So distance is square root of 9 squared plus 6 squared, which is root 81 plus 36, which is root 117, right? Simplify this from here. The way you simplify is you just factorize as much as you can, and you want to find square factors. So 3 times 39. There's no square factors at the moment. But 39 still got more factors to break down. It's 3 times 3 times 13. And 3 times 3 is 3 squared. And the square root of 3 squared is 3. So square root of this bit's just 3. And the root 13 stays inside the square root as it is.
So the square roots go outside or wait.
Square numbers, when rooted,
Okay.
they cancel each other out, basically.
No, what I'm asking is like, how do you know which number just goes outside? The one with
The number that was a square.
Okay.
Logic, I'll give you the proper algebraic logic, right? What's happening is this. You're splitting these up into two parts because surds have the property that root a times b is just root a times root b. By that property, you split this up into root 3 squared times root 13.
Okay.
And then root 3 squared is 3. So you get this. So it's 3 times root 13, which stays as it is. That's the logic behind it. Now, I don't do that every time because it's a waste of time. But yeah, that's how you simplify the surds. It's a helpful thing to do. And another tip is, if you want to completely avoid it even, having to simplify the surd, you can actually do this. Notice how both of these are multiples of 3.
Mhm.
So notice it's just a scaled up version of the 2, 3 right triangle. Right? You simply divide by the common factor. Oh, sorry, 3, 2. Right? Then you find the distance of Python to find the unknown side here. Just root 13, but then this is 3 times as long. Just 3 root 13. You can do that if you want. Maybe you've probably seen like the 3, 4, 5 triangle, right?
Mhm.
Well, the 6, 8, 10 triangle comes because it's just the double of every side on the 3, 4, 5 triangle. So you just scale it up, stretch it out. And then from that comes the 9, 12, 15 triangle. All the triangles can be scaled up by a constant amount. Make sense? Okay. Okay, who's done the challenge?
Can you give us a bit more time?
Yeah. Good.
By the way, which way was the y-axis?
Y-axis is the vertical. I recommend drawing a picture for this one. This is quite hard.
What is equidistant?
It's the same distance from A and B.
Same. So same. Like
The distance from A to P is the same as the distance from B to P. So like A is negative 2, 1 here. B is 4, negative 1. And there's some point on the y-axis, which is, somewhere here, maybe somewhere here. I'm not sure. It's on the y-axis. And it's equal distance from both. Maybe it's like here. So it's like this is the same as this. It's quite hard. If you have any questions, if you're struggling to start on this, even let me know. Because I could tell you, but I'd rather you try it first and then identify what's hard for you.
Thank you.
tell you right now, if you're doing the question, you'll see a quadratic appear somewhere. And I know you can't solve quadratics, but luckily the quadratic will cancel out. So
Can you explain what it is?
it'll be a square. Like you'll have something squared showing up somewhere. Whatever you let's say your variable you're using is p, have p squared show up, but it will disappear during the calculation.
Okay. Is P in the middle of A and B, or is it from the distance from A to B is the same?
Oh, so it's not the midpoint, no. Which we'll talk about after today, just the midpoint, but it's not. This is just the same distance. But the property is that P is on the y-axis. What does that mean for us though? If it's on the y-axis.
That it has a range of 4 to -4?
No.
It has to be 1. I think Y has to be 0. So.
No, not y. X is 0. So you basically got one of the coordinates is basically what they're saying. So they're saying it's 0 something. You don't know what that something is. And you're trying to find that something. That's the key first clue.
Is it just 0 minus 1? Like the coordinate?
Let me check. No, I don't think so.
But we have to use Pythagoras something like this, right?
Yes.
I just want to clarify. P has the same distance as A to B and P to B. They both have the same distance. Right?
A to P.
A to P. Wait, so A and B, like X centimeters or something, and P and B, X centimeters.
And not A and B, A and P.
Have the same distance as A and B.
No, we don't know A and B anyway. Both distances are unknown, but they're equal.
Yeah, so what I'm trying to ask is like A and B, has the same distance as A and P.
No, A and P has the same distance as B and P.
Oh.
So the distance of A and B from P is the same. That's what I've drawn here, right? So these lines from P are.
Wait.
I could draw this visually. I think it would be helpful if you want. But you have this question mark. Give it a value. It's an unknown. That's the unknown you're trying to find, right? It's algebra. I chose to give it the value P, like little p instead of big P. You can do Y if you want. Right? But give it a value, and then you're trying to find that missing value.
Oh. Would it just be? I'm just taking a random thought like this, but would it just be like 6 and 0?
Where do you feel it's gonna be? Do you think it's gonna be low or high?
Low.
It's gotta be feels low because 4 is pretty far, right? So you wanna
Yeah.
compensate for it by moving down here.
Because aren't you trying to find the right angle triangle? Would P like be the other angle to make the right angle triangle?
No, not necessarily. But you've got your formula for distance, and you have two equal distances.
I have no idea where I'm supposed to go with that, but okay.
Like I know that this is an unknown coordinate, but you can still find the distance relative to y. Does that make sense? Like instead of finding the distance, like as a number, you just calculate the distance like this, as it is between these two. You get some algebraic value because you don't know what y is. Right, so we have no idea what these values are, but this height. Oh, that's the one you don't. What's this distance? 2 to 0. Negative 2 to 0, it's 2. What's this distance vertically? No, don't guess. Exactly, it's 1 to y. So
1 minus y.
1 minus y. And then you can get the same distance from here to here. Might move this down because you might think it's 0 horizontally, but don't do that.
So it has to be like either something like 0 minus y, right?
Let me actually give me a second. So, and then what would this distance be? Between P and B, horizontal and vertical components.
And minus 1 minus y.
Minus 1 minus y. Oh, yeah.
Wait, wouldn't y just be a negative?
Yes, y is negative.
Yeah, so
You could also do 1 plus y or minus 1 minus y, both. Because when you square it, it will like cancel out the negatives. And you're trying to say the distance between these two is the same. Now it's algebraic, it's quite hard because you don't know the distances, but what you know is the two distances are equal. So if you do Pythag to find C for the first coordinate is C squared is 1 minus y squared plus 2 squared. And then this other point PB has the same C, right? Same distance. It's negative 1 minus y squared plus 4 squared. These two are equal. I have an equation for y. You can solve it to find y.
I think I did.
Did you get
I only got the equation for 22.
I don't care. You need to see the picture of the
Yeah,
working
I
out.
still have to try to keep.
Sorry?
I only got the equation for from A to P, but I think I got it wrong.
The distance equation. Oh, that's correct. Oh, but from here to here, there's some issues.
Oh, is it?
You can't really do anything from there. It can't be simplified. It's just 4 plus 1 minus y.
Is an equal sign?
Yeah. But do you understand why they equal? Try to understand this. Right, and what happens is there's quadratics, and I know you don't know how to solve it yet, but you know how to expand this bracket, right? Foil. First, outer, inner, last. 1 times 1 is 1. 1 times negative y is negative y. Negative y times 1 is negative y. Negative y times negative y is y squared. And you do the same thing here. Negative 1 times negative 1 is positive 1. Negative 1 times negative y is plus y plus y plus y squared. There's a lot of things that cancel here. 1 on both sides, they go away. Y squared on both sides, they go away.
And so one of that just gives 16. Oh no.
No, the negative 2y and positive 2y don't cancel. Negative 2y plus 4 is 2y plus 16. Then
can't you just do like 16 divided by 4?
you can, but I think you collect like terms. Sorry, I
Oh,
bring all the y's to one side. X's
so
to
wouldn't
one
that
side.
just make it 0y or something?
4y. Add 2y to both sides.
Oh,
The opposite signs, so they don't cancel. Then you minus 16 from both sides. Negative 12 is 4y.
which equals minus 3.
Y equals minus 3. Yeah. I mean, distance is always the right angle triangle. Does that make sense? And if you want practice, the next question is exactly the same type of question. So you can practice this concept as well. All right, anyway, that's that for distance revision. We spent quite a bit of time, more than we should have, but it's okay. It's 10.
Holy. We spent like half the class already.
Yeah. Quite a hard problem though, so it makes sense. Well, that might have been.
All that much for almost.
Yes. Now we'll learn midpoint. A midpoint. Actually, now that we've done distance, midpoint will be easier. Midpoint is a lot easier property compared to distance. Visually, here's what. See, I'm not gonna tell you the definition. I'm gonna give you a definition, and I want you to tell me whether you think it's correct or not. Midpoint is halfway point between A and B. So it looks something like this. Now,
No, is it meant to be accurate? Or
no, it's not.
Okay.
It's fine. Like, I know it's not accurate, but pretend it is.
Okay.
But I'm going to give a verbal definition, and I want you to tell me whether it's correct. Midpoint is the point that is equal distance from both A and B. Is that correct? Partially correct, but not fully there, because we just saw this example, right? This point is equal distance from both A and B. But is that a midpoint? No. So equal distance is one part of the property. But more specifically, it's also on the straight line that connects A and B. Right? If you connect, midpoint is defined as the point that is halfway along the straight line that connects A and B. Because if it was just equal distance, there's actually infinitely many points. You can just go perpendicular to this, and anywhere on this line, any point on this line, perpendicular to the midpoint, is an equal distance point. So try to, I mean, it's not, I'm not giving you proof, but you can sort of see they look pretty equal, right? I'll move this more central. That's pretty central, I think. Yeah, that's pretty central. Now, when I do this, probably see they look pretty equal. These two, right? As you can see, they're equal distance, but not a midpoint. Midpoint is both equal distance and also on the line connecting the 2 points. That's the visual definition, but that does not help us calculate the midpoint. So let's go to that next. Actually, let's not do this. Let's do. Let's say I want to find the midpoint between 2, 2, and 8, 6. It looks like this.
Don't you have to draw like a? Does it have anything to do with Python?
No, it's much easier than Python. No squares in this whatsoever.
So
Ignore the grid lines because you can probably get the answer just by counting. But How do you think we get there?
2. Is it rise over run? Isn't it just 2 and 2?
Sort of. Rise over run is gradient. But you do use rise over, like the rise is the vertical change and the horizontal change. And yes, they have important components.
Is it 3 and 2?
3 on 2, no.
No, 3 like 3.
3, 2, no. But you do, just like the distance, this also uses the horizontal component and the vertical component. Now think about this. Midpoint means halfway.
Mhm.
So once you know the full horizontal and vertical, like what do you mean tier 3?
3 because isn't that like just because like 8 minus 2 is 6, right? And then half of that is 3. So the answer would be 3.
You're there, but you're not 3. But yes, the difference first, it's 6 and 4. Then what do?
I thought this had nothing to do with Python.
You're not using Python. Just because you calculate these two values doesn't mean we have to do Python. You're actually correct before. You do divided by 2 because you're doing halfway up. 3, and this is 2, half of this. But this is not the answer. What you do is you go right by 3 and up by 2 from the start.
Yeah.
So if you go right by 3 from the starting x, which is 2, you end up at 2 plus 3, which is 5. And if you go up by 2 from the starting y value, 2 plus 2, 4. It's going to be 5, 4. Does that make sense? So you get the half, but then you add that onto the starting coordinate.
So basically, you just find the like you just minus the y values and the x values, and then you just get whatever that is, and then you half that, and then you get that sort of thing. And
You half it, then you add that onto the starting
Yeah.
point. Exactly. Now these are not going to be scaled, so do not use the grid point to help you. Sorry, I changed the value up. So do part A first. Midpoint, find the midpoint of 3, 1,
Can
and
you do decimals?
yes, you can. There is 1 decimal in the coordinates of A. And then for B, I want you to find the midpoint of so 3, 1, and 8, 7 is the first pair of coordinates, and 3, 9, and 7, 1 is the second pair of coordinates.
Okay. Oh wait, does that mean you have to do 3 minus 7? This
Yes, sort of. I'm not exactly sure what you mean.
like
But
so like since it's 3, like as in for y, does that mean you have to do like 3 minus 7?
y value is not 3.
Sorry, x.
X is fine. It's the y value that's going downwards in this. You need to be a bit careful.
But for like the B question, right?
Yeah, for B.
Yeah, you have to do 3 minus 7.
Why? Because you go right. It's positive. It's the part that makes it hard is it's going down vertically. Your logic, you're there, but you're confusing with coordinates is becoming negative. It's going downwards. If you compare the first one and second one, the change is the fact that it's going downwards instead of.
You just do 7 minus 3.
Oh, you can also think. Oh, you're thinking. What are you thinking? Which one's the starting coordinate for you? This one or this one?
I'm thinking of like 3 minus 9, 3, 9.
Yes, if 3, 9 is your starting point, the change is not in the x. You're still going right, just like you do in the normal one,
Mhm.
but you're going downwards. So the change is in the vertical.
Okay, so what do you add?
No, the difference is still a difference, but it just depends which direction. I think just do it instead of worrying about it too much at the moment. You'll figure it out when you do it.
Oh, wouldn't that just make it -4?
Yeah.
And then we just find the half of that.
Just do it. Oh, thank you.
Like how you explained it. How did we get like 6?
We start at 2, right?
Oh, yeah, could you please move your chair?
Oops, sorry.
That's gonna be so. Yeah, thank you.
Start at 2, go to 8, right?
Oh.
So it's like 8 minus 2. You halved it last time. And you'll see, so you halved it to get 3. Yeah, so instead of going right by 5, you go right by just half. Just 2.5.
Is something running? Is it me or is something?
I'm gonna check the kitchen after. Understand, like visually, how you went. Like, you see how like, you go halfway to like halfway up. You do the same. Go halfway to the left, which way you go, 3, 2. Well, by the way, this is not set. 1 to 7 differences.
Why do we add the like 2 plus 3 and then the 2 plus 2?
Right, so you are going like halfway to the right. So you're moving 2.5 right from the starting point. Starting point's 3. You go 2.5 right. You add the 2 coordinates. You're not going 2.5 from the origin. You're going 2.5 from the starting point.
Oh.
You see? If it's just the origin, you're 2.5.
First one is alright.
This one's correct.
Second one, I feel like it.
You should draw the picture.
Yeah, but like what I'm confused about is it even though it's going down, is it still the same like just 3 minus 7, 9 minus 1? Or do you do like 7 minus 3?
7 minus 3.
Okay. So even though it's going down, you still minus the bigger value.
No. Yes, but what you do with it changes. Think about this. Think of it like this. You go right in the first one, and you do right here as well. So what you do with the x's change until the state's the same. It's 4 to the right from 3 to 7.
I'm getting a bit.
That's why you should draw the picture. If you don't draw it, you're gonna make mistakes. Because you did it here well without drawing it, but that's because you already know. Can't visualize it.
I'll do what you do.
Legs. Horizontal, is it? You need to add it onto the x coordinate, right? Do you add it onto the x coordinate? What's the x coordinate? The original x coordinate of the starting point. 3, 3. So you have 2.5 on 3. I can switch the 2 around. Switch back.
They look good.
Yep.
Even though like I see through the diagram, doesn't make sense. Do I just minus it this way or?
So if you want to work with only positive, you can. Okay, just draw the diagram fully. Go like the lines until the half. Okay, so you're going down. Let's say you draw the 2 parts. Let's draw it right. Let's do easy one. Let's do the horizontal,
Horizontal, so this way.
which is you can write a positive number.
So that's 8.
Horizontal.
So that's this value, right? So minus 4. Or no, 4.
Just 4. You just do positive, right? What you do with the thing is you're starting at 3, you're going right by 4. So the
Oh,
midpoint up 2, add that up, you're going right.
Yeah.
5.
so wait, 2 added to that is 5. Okay, fine.
Now vertically, what's the difference here?
Vertically, so
Don't worry about negatives, just say the positive number.
it's just going up.
That's your starting point.
Yeah.
So you should think instead of going up by 8, going down by 8.
So 9 minus 8.
Yeah.
Okay, so,
But if we're going halfway to the midpoint,
so 9 minus 4. Oh, okay, so there.
zero and picture helps.
So why don't we just do with this?
Here, your x is correct, your y is correct. Because you're going downwards.
Okay, that makes sense.
Sorry, 10 of these. A is correct. So think about this. I think pick a starting point. Which one do you want to pick? This one, okay. So then you're going left by 4 to the side. Yeah, minus 4. So if you're doing half of that, yeah. So you start at 7, go -2. No, start at 7. But like you go to 2 from 7. Think of it as 7 minus 2. Still positive answer.
Oh yeah, be in the break. Could you play the video?
Again,
Not this video. The like if KSI was in here.
maybe. I'll need some.
Everyone did their weekly check-ins.
That is a good point. I'll think about it. And you do, and then for the y, it's not hard because it's the same as it's going upwards. So we start at 1. When you go up. How much up do you go normally? 8. So you go halfway up. Okay. Oh, okay. Yeah, 1 plus 4 is 5. 5, 5. All right, we'll go through this.
And then after this break.
Yeah. All right, so here we have the 2 points 3, 1, and 8, 7. Find the midpoints. Think about which direction you need to go, right? So start at 3, you go to 8. That's to the right by 5 units. I'm considering this as the starting point. Now, I could always pick this to be the starting point, but I'm not going to do that because I don't like negatives. And then from 1 to 7, that's 6. It's the difference, 7 minus 1. So if I'm going right by 5 in the full from A to B, right? Will change. And then I want to go to midpoint. That's going to be halfway up in both directions. So I'm going to go half of 5, which is 5 over 2, and half of 6, which is 3. That's how much I'm traveling from the starting point. I'm going to go right 5 over 2 units from 3, or 2.5. So I add 2.5 onto 3, which is going to get me my x value of 5.5. And then I'm going to do the same thing for my y, start at 1, I add 3 to get to 4. It's 5.5 and 4. Is there any questions about this? No? Yes.
Why do you add like 3?
Because like think of it as a journey from the starting point to the end point, right? A to B. So from 3 to 8, I go 5 right. So like if I want to calculate 5 right from 3, I add 5 onto 3, right? Because I'm starting at this A point. I'm starting at 3, 1. So I'm going right by 5, right? But here I'm going only 5 over 2 to the right. But I'm still starting at this point. So I'm starting at 3. If I just add 5 on 2, that's just going to be like going 5 over 2 from the origin. It's not what I want, right? I wanted to start at here. That's why I added on to the current x value. I'm already 3 right. I want to go 5 over 2 more to the right. So if I just do 5 over 2 alone, that's just 5 over 2 from the origin. You see what the difference visually is? Yeah. So yeah, I add 5 over 2 to the starting point, and I add 3 to the starting point. So yeah, important thing is you need to have a starting point. And for these types of questions, it's pretty easy. You just pick the bottom left. Now for a question like part B, it's a bit trickier because there's going to be a negative no matter which starting point you choose. But you're allowed to pick any of them to be the starting point. This, all this. Who picked bottom right? Who picked top left? Top left. And then you went bottom right. Both are valid. What do you guys do? Top left. You didn't do it? All right. So let's go through this just so that you get an idea of how to do this, right? Since top left seems to be more popular, I'm going to do top left, but the logic is the same. So from now I need to consider the distance each way. Vertically, what's the distance? I'm just going to leave it positives. I'm just going to say 8, but 8 down. And then horizontally, 3 to 7, 7 minus 3, it's 4. Now the midpoint, right, is when you go halfway down from the starting point and halfway right. Halfway down is? Yeah, it's 4 down. I go 4 down from my starting y. And then halfway right is 2. 2 right from my starting x. So my final x value of the midpoint is going to be 3 plus 2 because I'm going right. And then for y, it's going to be 9 I start at, but then I go down 4 to about minus 4 to get 5. Now if I started over here, I make it work because I'm at 7, 1. I'm going to the left by 4 and up by, so left by 2 and up by 4. So I would subtract 2 from 7 to get 5 again, and 4 to 1 to get 5 again. Same answer either way. But understand that visually. That's sort of a starting journey from the start point to the middle point. And which you find by halving the standard difference. Any questions?
Okay. Okay.
Good. Okay. I'll give you guys a break and then we'll come back to do some more problems.
I was gonna watch the video though.
You guys did do the weekly check-in. Which video do you want to see?
If KSI was Indian.
I'm going to see how bad it is. Also, how long it is.
It's around 2 minutes or 3 minutes.
10?
2 to 3 minutes. Oh, NBC.
Okay.
I have no clue how this would have been KSI. Or you can put on another random video.
You want to play a game?
What kind of game?
Play 24 again.
Yes! Wait, with the whole class?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Nah, isn't it like 24 numbers or something? That's the Soviet one. Yeah, that one, the second one. Yeah. Oh, it takes a while to load, doesn't it? No time limit. like it.
All right. So the way it works is you're allowed to use these four numbers.
Okay, done.
Use all four numbers. Oh, okay. Is it just
Wait.
adding?
Maybe, yeah. Wait.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just adding. That's what I did.
You use the four numbers.
11.
You're allowed to use any of the four standard operations: addition, subtraction, multiplication, division. And you need to form 24. For example, this one is pretty easy because you can just add all four numbers. So it's 24.
That's like the only way.
And apparently that's the only solution.
Don't press never show
Yep.
solutions again, otherwise we'll know.
Okay. Got it.
Damn it. You're a sweat.
See another way. We'll go another way.
Okay, done. Okay,
What's the
11,
way?
11 minus 3 is 8, 7 minus 4 is 3, 8 times 3 is 24.
I did 7 plus 3, and then plus 11 minus plus 4.
25.
Oh, wait, that was 25.
It's 24.
I got another one, which is 11 plus 4 minus 7, 8 times 3.
Oh, that's
That also works. Oh, keep trying to type it in.
those.
Few. Yeah.
You can just click on the side, can't you? To just get rid of
Another one.
Okay, done.
Whoa.
10 minus 7 is 36. Wait. No, I had the answer.
26. 26.
Damn it. Wait, I think I've done it now. Okay. 10 minus 6 is 4. 7 minus 4 is 3. 8 times 3 is 24.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's what I had before. I just lost it.
I'm glad you're a sweat at this.
You should see my friend. He was really good.
You played this with your friends?
Yeah. This is what we call fun. Okay, that's easy. 7 plus 7, 10, 14.
Oh, it's
9 plus
adding.
1 is 10.
Yeah, you just have them too. Okay. Nicholas is not allowed to speak next round.
What?
He's too sweaty.
Okay. So I
You
can't
can-
do this one?
You can do it, but tell me. But don't tell the answer. I want to see someone else get it. Nicholas is cheating.
I'm not cheating. It's not fair. That's,
Oh, I think I got it.
oh, I'm gonna get this one. This one's tricky. Yeah.
Do you want me to tell you strategy? Yep.
6 times 5 is 30. Then divided by 10 is 3. Then times 8 is
Oh,
Ooh.
I didn't think of that way.
That's
That's
not.
all multiplication or division.
I was just trying to add it.
The way I had was
You can press the back arrow if you want.
Back? Oh yeah, the way I had was 8 minus 5 is 3 times 10 is 30
30 divided.
minus 6 is
Oh.
24. But yeah, this is cooler.
Damn. Good job.
Well done. There's another way as well.
Oh, that was 8 times 5 minus.
Oh. Yeah, I would never get that. Got it. I'll tell you my strategy after this.
Okay. Got it.
Anyone else?
I just gotta keep reminding myself.
5 plus 5 times 3 minus 6.
Yeah, that's what I got to.
5 plus 5. Oh yeah.
10 times 3.
Yeah.
13,
Oh yeah,
10
nice.
minus-
Well done.
What did you get?
I think I had the same, was it? Yeah, I had the same. Nice. Okay.
Oh, okay.
There's an easy one for this.
Yeah, okay, got it. Isn't it just like
1 minus 1
yeah.
plus 13 plus 11.
You could also do 13 plus 11
Yeah,
times
that's
1
it.
times 1 twice.
You could just do 1 divided. Wait, no. Yeah,
Wait, then you showed the other solution.
no. It's basically the same thing, isn't it?
Okay. One more? One more. All right.
Okay, done.
What is it?
You want me to tell you?
Yeah, you can say.
Okay. 5 times 2, which is 10. 10 plus 12 is 22. 22 plus 2 is 20.
Nice. 5
Can we do
times.
one more?
No. Okay,
Last
fine.
one.
One more. One more.
I'll keep my mouth shut. Okay. Okay, yeah.
Got it. Nice. I have not gotten it yet.
This one's easy.
We'll wait a little bit and then at 400, Nicholas can share.
Okay.
See-
If someone will have it by 400. Really.
What?
Just think horizontally. Wait, vertically, sorry, vertically. Not horizontally, vertically. The numbers vertically will give you the answer. You just have to find the correct operations to do so. You got 4 seconds.
Yeah, I have no idea.
Did
you
I
got
give
it?
you? It's just 5 plus 3 is 8. 9 divided by 3 is 3.
Oh.
10 times 2 is 24.
That's good. The way I do it, I think I miss those things like that. I always look for,
Yeah, you told me like the factors for 24.
no, I add one number for it or minus number and try to form that number.
Yeah.
Which is, I think, I'll miss stuff like that from this. But this one's easy. Anyway, let's stop the nerdy game. Oh, I solved it.
Oh, God. Yeah.
I was trying to solve
That was
it.
on a roll. He's on a roll now.
Okay, let's come back to midpoints. Now, there's a formula for midpoints as well, which I will. Pass it along.
You have to the error worksheet.
Ooh, sorry. 1, 2, 1. There's 6, only 5. Does everyone have one?
Do you not print the error worksheet?
Oh, yes, I did. That's my bad. Forgot to give it a. Pass it around. You pass it. Yes, actually use the error log sheet when you make mistakes.
Okay.
That's my bad.
You printed it out just for the
Yeah.
diagnosis.
What is it? Oh yeah.
It sounds like a doctor.
I think there's something going around now these days, right? I've seen a lot of people sick.
I don't know.
Okay. Yeah. Let's go to the formula. Now, what if we wanted to generalize this formula to any coordinate? Then we can come up with a formula. Although, again, you won't need the formula because you could get by without the formula, right? Like with your current knowledge, you can get by with any midpoint problem without ever knowing the formula. But just think of the formula as just an additional thing you learn. But don't become too reliant on it. Because honestly, the visual way is better. Let's say we have general coordinates x1, y1, and x2, y2. I wanted to find the midpoint between them. By the way, if you go to the formula sheet on this page before with a picture.
We just have one. It's just double-sided.
Yeah.
Isn't this one?
Yeah, the one in the picture. Yeah, that one. You can do the derivation there if you want. You can label the points like this: x1, y1, x2, y2. Right, so we're trying to find the midway point. Coordinates of the midway point. Now, what we're gonna do is we're gonna do the exact same process that we did with, like, the numbers, but we're gonna apply it to this with the algebraic values. Does that make sense? So what's the first thing we do in that case? Yeah, the horizontal component. Thank you, Senudi. Actually, not x2 minus x1. You want a positive value. It's fine to do x1 minus x2, but keep that in mind. That's negative. And what about vertical?
Y2 minus 1.
Now, since we're trying to find the midpoint, we need to go halfway right, halfway up. Make sense? If we go halfway right, what's that value we go right by?
X1.
This divided by. You don't know what.
Oh,
So the total is x2 minus x1. You go halfway, half of that up. It's x2 minus x1 over 2. Because we don't know what either of those are. And what about vertically?
right. And the same thing. Just
y2 minus y1 over 2. And then if I'm starting at x1, y1, and I'm going right by this and up by this, x coordinate is going to be x1 plus this, right? What about the y coordinate? What's that going to be?
Y1 plus Y2 minus Y1 over 2.
Yep. y1 plus y2 minus y1 over 2. You just evaluate these two. This is the x coordinate on the left. This is the y coordinate on the right. How do you evaluate this? Remember, x1 and x2 you can't collect. They're completely different values, but the two x1s you can. Bring it over the same fraction. You have 2x1, then you have minus x1. 2 minus 1 is just 1. x1 plus x2 over 2. 2y1 plus y2 minus y1 over 2. It's going to be the same thing. It's y1 plus y2 over 2. And that's the formula. If you have this, the midpoint is going to be x1 plus x2 over 2 and y1 plus y2 over 2. Now, what this means is we have another way to solve it now. instead of doing all this different stuff, we could just also just add the two x coordinates and divide that by 2, and then repeat the same process for y, where you add the two y coordinates and divide that by 2. So for example, if we come back to these two, what we could do is we get to 5.54 just by doing 3 plus 8 over 2. You add the y coordinates, 1 plus 7 over 2, which will be 11 over 2, which is 5.5 again, and 8 over 2, which is 4. Get the exact same answers with a faster process. Make sense? Now you don't like this is faster, but again, this abstracts a lot of the thinking behind it. So when you get to a hard problem, this can be a little confusing, and you might lose track of things if you try to use it directly, but it's fine. Like, so just use this when you're confident and you know what you're doing. But if you get stuck, go back to the visual way of thinking, because this formula comes from the visual way. It's derived from the visual way, right? Does that make sense? So can someone tell me, with applying this formula, how do you calculate the midpoint of 3, 9, and 7, 1?
It would just be 3 minus 4.
No, the fast way. Just we just add these two together. 3 plus 7 over 2. What about y?
9 minus 1 over 2. Not 9 plus 1 over 2.
9 plus 1 over 2. It's 10 over 2 is 5. 10 over 2 is 5. And that matches your answer, right? Which is what we got before. So the long way is to get how to get there properly, but you've got this formula, which is a shortcut. Now,
So you can just add the y2 plus y1 equals this divided by 2.
and actually, one
Can
thing,
you go down back to the blue part where you just did like yeah.
this formula has the exact same derivation as you would with the long way to do it visually, but it just makes the steps easier. And the thing is, do you know how I drew a line that goes from the bottom left to the top right? This formula also works if you go other way as well. Like if the picture's like this, it still works. You can try to derive it on your own if you want. And you get the exact same formula. All right, let's try a couple of examples. Keep copying it while I set up the examples. Okay, here's the two examples for you to practice. Yeah, so do part A and B.
Okay.
B is slightly harder, nothing too crazy though.
So wouldn't it just be? Do we do it in our books or?
Oh yeah, I can give you worksheets. So
No, I've got worksheets. It's just we do it in our.
I've got worksheets. It's up to you, but I've got the worksheet for today's class, and there's questions to be there.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, I'm making you guys do a lot of work today.
Obviously, I don't know.
Yeah.
How to say it.
You had to pass
I was
anything.
like, chilling.
It's on the first page of the worksheet. Oh, that's what I was missing. Because before class, I just go through like a checklist to do things, and I forgot to add.
You always keep forgetting to make a checklist. You need a checklist for that checklist.
No, I do, dude. I've got the checklist up, but
Oh, you
I
do
didn't.
make a checklist. So
I don't have place worksheets.
Yeah,
in
so
it.
you
So
need to
I'm gonna
change
add
the
that now.
terms.
No, I'm gonna change my checklist to have place worksheets within it. Like every week, I'll learn something that's missing in my checklist.
That's crazy. What's an endpoint?
Endpoint. So it's like they've given you the midpoint and one of the points.
So it's just like whatever B is or like whatever A is.
So yeah, exactly. So like if they've given you this, let's say I don't know what A is, and A is here, B is M is here.
Mhm.
They want you to find B, which is the other endpoint. Like to get the midpoint, you need to have another endpoint, right?
Yeah.
They want you to find the other endpoint
Okay, so
based on one endpoint and the
why
midpoint.
is something from B give you the midpoint of A? What the hell? Given that the midpoint of A. It's not a straight line, is it? It's just like either going like that or that.
It's a straight line. Because you can assume it's a straight line, because by the definition of a midpoint, it's on a straight line. Generally 3 points, no. But with
Whatever it is.
is that 1 or 7? 1 negative 2. Yeah, because you go up by 6, so half of that is 3. Negative 2 plus 3.
I didn't like the two. I just feel like the other one was added.
Oh, the formula? Yeah, it's
I
Yeah.
didn't write it down.
no, but even with the formula will get you all that working out. Abstracted. The formula sort of like where the working out's hidden in the formula. So you don't need to do the working out. What you can do is use the formula to get the answer and then draw it and check it makes sense visually. So for B, they're not asking you to find the midpoint. They've given you the midpoint and one endpoint. Guys, keep the error log for as long as you can. And when you finish it, let me know so that I can give you a new one.
Wouldn't that just depend on each of us? Depending on how.
I've got spares,
Oh.
but I don't want you guys to waste it. Oh, I forgot I left it at home. Don't like to print it.
Why is it not working? Oh yeah, do you use ink cartridges?
No, don't.
Yeah.
Definitely not. I will be broke if I use ink cartridges. It's not worth it. Like,
Yeah.
ink print is so cheap, but the ink costs way too much.
Do you use it? You just use a black and white printer, right? Okay. Wait, so you have both types of printers?
It's a like, printer with both.
Yeah, so okay. It just sounded like you had two printers. Like you just bought one color printer and then like one black and white printer. I was gonna ask what was the point of that.
Oh no. I mean, I used to have an inkjet printer,
Oh.
and that's just a massive waste of money. It costs like $70 to buy,
Well,
but then every time it's cheap. That's cheap.
but like if you think about it, is it good? Like good
It's
quality?
bad. 'Cause
Yeah, then it's just a waste of money if it's bad.
the
70.
quality is not the issue.
Oh,
The
then
issue is the ink. Ink costs about $50 for 400 pages.
$50 for 400 pages.
Yeah.
Oh,
So I bought it,
so it's $8.40, right?
but then I print about 80 pages every week.
Oh, well, you're screwed. Oh, you're screwed. You're on the deep end.
But with this one, my printer now, it's like $500, but it's 2,000 pages for $40. All colors.
Wait a minute. If the midpoint's 4, oh wait. Flip these. So wait, you first have to find.
Or you double for yeah, makes sense. So you sort of use the formula to help you get there.
Yes.
And then it makes sense visually after that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good way to do it. So
But
Check
then,
it.
wait, this wouldn't technically just be a straight line, would it? Because the answer wouldn't. The answer is just this thing here. Would it be a straight line or something? It's not literally a straight line. It's this.
what do you mean? That's not B.
Yeah, I know, but because it says that B is 4 and then 5.
No, M is 4, 5.
Yeah, so M is 4, 5. So doesn't that mean B has to be like something up here?
You can have an idea of it because even the formula.
Yeah, but then the formula is just like adding whatever half the number was with this. So that would just make this 2 and this 2 as well. And that would just make it 4 and 4. Right? Yeah, so B has to be 4 and 4.
You're adding 4.
You're not adding 4 and 4 because like, if you're trying to get the midpoint right, basically what you have to do is like, oh,
You're adding 4. You see? Because normally you add 4
yeah,
and 4 and you halve that.
Yeah. So then the answer would just be. So the answer would just be this, right?
Yeah. Also, try to do it with the formula. That's correct.
Yeah, so
Try to understand it.
the formula, I did it in my head.
No, you did the visual thing there, which is good. It's
Oh,
fine.
okay. So, wait. Oh, this formula. Is that formula like just find the endpoints? Oh no. Can you make one up on this point? Or-
Yeah. So, what's the steps here?
Why is
Oh, so that's the x, that's the y. So you done the formula right? You do the formula, you don't subtract, you add. The way you subtract is when you try to do it the visual way. See the difference? Formula, you just add the two numbers.
This would just be. Wait, so be like, would it be like?
You put that in there.
Talk about that.
So maybe put that on the error line. So there's a difference there. Subtracting you doing a visual. That's important as well. But you add you just do it. You guys.
So wouldn't this be the formula? This equals x. And this equals y.
No, no, we know these ones. It's the midpoints. Excellent.
So midpoint.
We know the midpoint.
Yeah. So we're trying to find the endpoint.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
This is the x, so the endpoint. This is the y.
Oh,
This is the midpoint. So if you have two x's, you're just confusing yourself, right?
okay.
What's this x?
That's just right. That's just.
Yeah, so you can just write 4 here. If you want, you can just do x, y. So plus
And y was alright. So maybe we found a formula for it. It's like.
I wasn't thinking about it. Okay.
This answer?
Yeah.
That's correct.
I don't know.
Did you do the?
Like I was like short, so I scribbled.
I
Like if
thought
I've already. Is that can you use this for like? Is he trying to make us?
So any question we ask you for midpoint, you can use this formula.
Okay. Is that I can't do that.
That's it. It's like it's doing. It's much faster here
Yeah.
with the formula
Yeah.
because it's got all these steps in the visual thing already abstracted away into it.
Yeah.
That's what a formula is, right? All the working out sort of gets hidden in that formula.
Wait, 1051.
1052. Okay, if you guys have finished those two, go to the worksheet next pages, page 2 and 3.
Wait, B look up?
Yep.
Wouldn't it just be squared?
What do you mean?
So like x plus 2 squared. Not squared.
2 over 2.
Okay.
So you just
No, not to find the midpoint, to find the endpoint. So x plus 2 squared
there's no squares in the midpoint.
times 2.
Is-
Because you're trying to find the endpoint, right? If this is the
Okay.
if this is the midpoint, right? You need to multiply it to get to the
Multiply, not square.
Yeah, so multiply by 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, so x plus 2
Equals
multiplied
8.
by 2. So okay, so I did
Wait, you could do like the formula, you could do n times 2,
times by 2.
and then minus the other.
That's what you did there.
Yeah.
Without anything.
Because he
Yeah.
wants the formula.
Yeah. But what he did was actually not even the formula.
Oh, come on.
It's fine.
Oh,
That's correct. Oh,
okay.
it's good. Like you don't have to have a formula for this.
Sorry. I was like,
He was using the midpoint formula. Now it's
I thought you like,
no,
find the formula. Otherwise, you don't.
no.
otherwise
You don't
know
need to
the-
find the formula. So what he did was he plugged in the numbers here. So xm is 4, x1 is 2, x2 is not known. Then you just solved it algebraically. What you did was you rearranged this to find x2. So it would be 2, so you must have the term. So you plugged it in. I'm gonna put that here. What you did was formula, right? So 2xm. And to find x2, let's say you subtract x1. Both is pretty equally valid. I think I'd recommend just going this way because memorizing another formula is just not worth your time.
I wasn't like thinking about.
No, but it's a good thing to think about. Even if you don't not going to use it ever, just thinking about it is a good thing. It's called interleaving. You thinking about it in different ways, you learn it better.
I thought you were like asking to find a formula.
No.
It's like, how do you find the endpoint formula or something?
No.
I was like, what? And I was like, I found a formula. And then I was,
No. What you did is good. It's good.
I thought I was like off topic and then
No,
I
no.
still got the answer.
You already got the answer before with this visually.
Yeah, but like, I thought I found like the answer, and then you were just like, so he hasn't actually found the formula. And I was like,
So it's up to you whether you want to create a formula or not. And honestly, I don't think it's worth the time.
exactly.
But just even spending the time to think about it, to come up with the formula, even if you're not going to use it, it's helpful.
Are we gonna do Kahoot?
Yes, at 11 though, because we are a bit late today.
It's late.
Go to the next page and do questions. This week worksheet's pretty easy. You've only got this page and the next page. We didn't cover the content of page 4.
Wait, quadratics is in like which week again?
We're gonna finish this topic first.
Yes.
It's probably another month.
Okay.
Then you're gonna finish the next topic, which is number theory,
Number theory. What are we
Probably.
doing in number theory? Is it just
Factors.
multiplication?
division.
I was going back to prime factorization.
We might do that a little bit. Yes. Oh no, that's we meant to cover that, but we didn't get to it.
What do we mean? Which one? Which one?
Page 4, 5, 6. We were meant to cover, but we didn't get to it, so I'm not going over that.
Oh yeah, have you played Battleships?
Not in a long time. These are very random questions.
I have no clue. It's just like end of class and I'm like,
Oh, did you do the battleships things in maths?
Is this in year 8?
I forgot. We might have done it in 7 or 8. They're all a blur to me.
Do you remember going to Iowa?
We didn't go.
Year 7, did you go to Adventure Park?
What? You get all
Every
these
year-
trips?
Every year we get an excursion at the end of the year and go somewhere fun.
That's so unfair. We didn't have it.
Like pay for them, so it's
Yeah, you still have to pay for
fine.
them, but
You
like
go
you're
with
going with your
school
whole class.
friends.
expensive.
They're not that expensive. Though.
$50,
It's like-
right?
To get into Gumbiwa for school, I
And-
think
And
maybe Gumbiwas are $20.
But we didn't get to go to Gumbo. I think we went to like the zoo.
that's terrible.
Oh,
It was like, I don't know how much
wait,
it
did you
was,
go to
but-
Glen or something?
No, because we live in a different area. So
Oh yeah, you're planning to move to Oakley, right?
Oh, this class?
Yeah, this class to
They
Oakley.
meant I lit like
No. Like, it's just
No.
random question, but like you're planning to move the class to Oakley, right?
I looked into it. I don't like the Oakley place too much.
is that further from here?
Oh, can you move it somewhere near Roeville?
I might be a bit late.
Which area do you live?
On the freeway, so Ringwood, like base over there.
That's pretty similar, I'd say.
I've got a brilliant idea for you.
You might go Mount Waverly.
So basically, I've got a math
I don't know
question
where
for
that
you. Wait, you just find out which suburbs we live in, right? And then basically, you have to find the main point which will
Easiest to everyone.
yeah, easiest to everyone.
Yeah, but what if there's nothing there? It's like a
Oh,
middle of a
okay.
park. I'm gonna be teaching you guys in the middle of a park.
Just like it's a nice serene place. You can like have it under a tree, a nice road, picnic. We could like just have our sandwiches, and you're like, okay, so X is equal to this,
No.
but it's like don't ruin it.
Guys, you gotta do question.
Questions, measurements. Why didn't you just put it next to the perfect?
I've like it's generally hard to find spots. I wanted to go to Springwell Library.
Oh, you can do that.
Yes,
Can't
but
you do like the
they don't
Glen Waverley
open-
Secondary? Well, not
they
the,
don't rent it out.
no, the Glen Waverley, right? Like the library,
Oh,
the Glen
Oh.
Waverley library next to Glen, like the.
I need to rent a room. I don't think Glenville Library has any spare rooms. Because Springwell Library recently got renovated. They've got nice rooms you can rent.
Why don't you just like use the garage of your house?
Oh, yeah.
Basically, with my last math class, this teacher used just like a room in her house, cleared it out, and just made it a whole math room.
Makes sense. That's like most Sri Lankan tutors.
Yeah, she was Sri Lankan. Yeah, so, and basically she had like,
She did it like a garage
That makes sense.
with like a whiteboard.
maybe a TV.
Yeah, I had my physics tutor. It was in his like a room in the back of his house. My maths tutor in
Oh yeah, does anyone know
They're
chocolate?
like plastic tables.
yeah,
Just like
terrible.
sitting on random.
Yeah.
Exactly. But do you know chocolate?
No,
Okay.
it was like
Guess I've been
family friends.
at least one question from this
I
time.
did one.
Did one? Okay. Wow.
14,
I don't know if it's right.
7,
And then we'll do
plus 4
Kahoots.
plus 6, okay.